I was struggling to get through books this month. Hello everyone, it's Jasmine and welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, I'm going to be going over all of the books I read in December. Am I ever on time for a monthly reading wrap up? No, so sorry this is so late. Before we get started, don't forget to like this video and subscribe. December was kind of the worst reading slump of my life. I kept starting so many different books. I was just not in the mood for them. I would start one, read a couple chapters, and I wouldn't be feeling it, and then I would start another one and repeat the same process. So I tried to get into the Christmas spirit and I picked up Window Shopping by Tessa Bailey. I gave this a 3 out of 5. It was okay. It's a really short book. There's only 248 pages in this, so it didn't take me very long to read it. It was very fast-paced and it wasn't bad. It was just okay. I wasn't attached to the characters. I liked them, but I wasn't like super attached to them, if that makes sense. So here we follow Stella, just got out of prison, and she's looking for a job. She sees that they're looking for like a window person at a department store, and she runs into Aiden, who is the department store manager there, and he is infatuated with her from the beginning, and he like wants to go to HR and like all this other stuff because he plans on hiring her. The story was just very insta-love. So usually I am, when it comes to insta-love, like I don't like it. I thought this was okay considering how fast-paced and short the book is. Things were moving pretty fast. Yeah, it was just an okay read. It didn't really get me into the holiday spirit because all there really was like the department store during Christmas, I guess. I don't know, it didn't really give me Christmas, if that makes sense. The characters were likable, just like I didn't care for them. There were some fun side characters who I really enjoyed. Overall, this was an okay read. Didn't hate it, didn't love it. After Window Shopping, I picked up Love in Other Words by Christina Lauren. I tabbed quite a bit of this book. So here we follow Macy, and it's told in her point of view, but between past and present chapters, which I absolutely love, going back and forth between the past and the present. Her mom dies, and her dad get this vacation house that they go to when they want to get away from like the city and all that stuff, just a place to think, and she meets a boy named Elliot. So you see them meet and you find out in the present that they haven't spoken for about 11 years. So you go back and forth, and the past kind of leads up to the event that stops them from talking to each other for the past 11 years, and in the present you kind of see them, I guess, get close again. So this is childhood best friends to strangers to lovers. So what I really liked about this was I felt like this book was like a warm hug. It was extremely cozy. I loved the friendship between Elliot and Macy. It was just so wholesome. I loved being able to see them grow up from kids to teens, seeing them as adults. I thought the past chapters were really wholesome. I really enjoyed Macy and I loved Elliot. I thought they were so cute. It was just very comforting to see that Macy kind of had her own sanctuary and place that only Elliot kind of existed, and he wasn't a part of her everyday life, and it was just kind of like her escape. So while I loved the first like 85% of the book, I thought the plot twist ruined this book. To me, it kind of ruined some of the character development that I was getting from someone. I just didn't enjoy seeing that, and I felt like the situation, the plot twist, was overlooked completely, and I thought it was kind of like a big topic. That brought it down a star for me. But overall, I did really enjoy this book. When I don't think about the plot twist, I absolutely loved it. The ending was good though, so I gave Love in Other Words a 4 out of 5 stars. For the next book I read on my Kindle, I was sent an advanced copy of Waiting to Score by Eloise Tanan, I think that's how you pronounce it. This is a college sports romance, specifically basketball, and it is fake dating. So Monty transfers school. She is trying to get away from her like psycho ex-boyfriend who basically stalks her. He follows her to her new school, and in order to try to get him away, she makes out with a random dude in the quad, and it turns out the guy she made out with is a star basketball player. Things kind of just roll from there. This was a very short read, so a lot of things were just happening really fast. I gave this book a 3.5 out of 5 stars. It kind of gave me off-campus vibes in terms of like the friend group and just like the dynamic between the two friend groups clashing, and like the sports aspect, all the teammates together. I really enjoyed that. I think my only problem with this was that I wasn't connecting with Wes or Monty. I didn't have that emotional connection to them. However, I did enjoy their book because it was super fast paced. A lot of things were happening. Because it's so short, like everything kind of happens at once. I just thought it was a fun read. It went by super fast, so I couldn't put the book down. I just wish I was attached to them as much as I was to the off-campus boys. I definitely think if you like off-campus, you will enjoy this book. I'm looking forward to reading the next book in the series. So it's going to be one of Wes's teammates that we met, and we kind of see the little hints that were in the first book on who he is going to be with. I'm hopeful and I'm looking forward to reading the next book because I thought this first book was entertaining. I feel like this was very similar to Off Campus because of how simple it was. I feel like Off Campus is a very simple book. This book captured the simplicity of it. Then I decided I wanted to pick up something a little darker after reading a fun fake dating sports romance. So I continued the Crooked Sinners series and I read Riot Rules, which is the second book. I gave Riot Rules a 5 out of 5 stars. I freaking loved it. So I read Riot House. That one I gave like 3.5 out of 5 stars. It was good, but I wasn't attached to the characters. It wasn't what I was expecting. But reading Riot House, I was super interested in reading about Carrie and Dash because they have so much banter and angst. You can see that they have a complicated past, and I wanted to know what the heck happened between them. A majority of Riot Rules takes place before the events of Riot House. You see Dash and Carrie, and you see how their relationship builds up and what caused them to break up, basically. And after you get to that peak moment, you get into the timeline of the event that happened in Riot House, just kind of everything that happens in their point of view, and then you see everything that happens after Riot House as well. So I love Dash. I think he is very charming. So he is from England, he's rich, he's bad boy, has daddy issues. Carrie is kind of, I guess, the girl from the wrong side of the track. She has a very dark past and she has been running from it. She tries to act like everything's okay and everything's fine when things aren't. So she is a very strong heroine, and her and Dash, I feel like, just have the perfect amount of chemistry. I adore them. I love them. I just thought this book was so much fun. There were just a lot of things that were happening. I know some people were turned off on reading it because it is kind of like the same events that happened in Riot House, but I thought the way their story was told was amazing. I loved seeing the buildup of their relationship and how they got together, and then how things ended and why they ended, seeing that rekindle their romance. You can tell throughout the book that they still have feelings for each other. You just see them wanting to be together, but then they're not together, and the ending was just really perfect. So this book is secret relationship, second chance romance, rich popular bad boy with the goody two shoes, shy, friendly type of girl. I really enjoyed this book, and I'm looking forward to reading the last book. Riot House and the rest of the Crooked Sinners series is available on Kindle Unlimited. Thank you to Miss Callie Hart for sending me this series through my Kindle. Okay, and then I ended December with a bang. Reminders of Him by Colleen Hoover. I gave this a 5 out of 5 stars. I posted a reading vlog on this. If you haven't seen it, be sure to check it out. There I give all of my reactions to the book and an in-depth review, so I'm not going to go too much into detail. I loved this so much. This might be my favorite Colleen Hoover book. It's between this and Heartbone. Basically, Henna gets out of prison. She is back to the place where her life basically got put on hold. She meets a guy named Ledger. He is actually connected to her past, but she doesn't find out until a little bit into the book. I think maybe 2 chapters in. This was just so good, so emotional. I was talking to Kendra Reeds about this. We were talking about how this book really gets you to think, and she was saying how this is like a lesson in empathy, and I couldn't agree more. And I was saying, like, the thing about Colleen Hoover books is I feel like there is romance in her books, but there's also really heavy topics that aren't talked about a lot, and I feel like she shines light on those topics and really gets you thinking about, like, these things happen in real life, and like there's situations that, you know, people go through that are just like this, and I feel like it just really makes you sympathize and think about certain events and things that you wouldn't necessarily think about or even choose to read about. So I thought this was so good. 5 out of 5 stars. And those are all the books I read in December. If you guys read them, I would love to know your thoughts on these books, and let me know the best books that you read in December. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!